Hello, hello, hello. My name is CMAC. I'm from CMAC's Paperbacks, and I'm here to do another book review with you. Those get more awkward every time I do them, so I'm just going to keep on keeping on here. So, if you are new here, my name is CMAC, and I do as quick as I can, book reviews here over on BookTube. I review every single book that I read on my blog at cmaxpaperbacks.com. And then, of course, find me on Instagram. Everyone's there hanging out. Links are all down below. But today is kind of special, kind of getting like a 2-for-1 because I found this series. I don't know what the series is called, but I read the first one, The Housemaid. And then the second one I just finished last night, and it's The Housemaid's Secret. Yeah, actually, I picked this up, and I feel like people on my book groups and everything have also been reading this. So I found this on Kindle Unlimited. I got it free when I had to get a new Kindle. And yeah, I stumbled upon The Housemaid. I didn't have anything to read. I'm like, Kindle Unlimited, whatever. Booked it out, and it kind of blew my mind. I mean, it blew my mind enough that I picked up the second one. Who picks up a second in a series if they didn't like it? So yeah, it kind of blew my mind. It is a very easy reading thriller. It's about a gal, troubled past, comes in to a house, and why she has a troubled past kind of makes her want to be helpful. I think that's a good way to describe it. But yeah, Frida is a very good writer. She'll put you through all the twists and turns, and the book never really slows down. And I think that's what's exciting about both these books, is that it just keeps going. There's never any like lag. You don't have to read some blah 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 build up like to get to the twisty part. I mean, it's going, and it's going. And so yeah, so the first book, yeah, it was great. I did only give it 4 stars just because there wasn't that much oomph to really like, you know, for a full 5 stars. It's something I thought that I would forget about. And yeah, it's what I have put a lot of some of these books in a category of plain reads. It's a book that doesn't get boring, that you could just go read it on a plane trip, on a plane, and when you get off the plane you move on with your day and enjoy your adventure. So this is definitely like a plane read for me. But it didn't take away that it was excellent. And so yeah, a few days ago, again, my holds weren't ready for me. I needed a book, and I stumbled across the sequel, which is The Housemaid's Secrets. And I thought, I thought I would forget about this book, but I didn't. It stuck with me enough to make me pick up the sequel. And the sequel too was just, I mean, I kind of knew what I was expecting now from Frida, and it was awesome. Again, she goes. If The Housemaid and The Housemaid Secrets followed the same, I feel like, structure of a plot. So I knew something was going to happen. I knew we would switch perspectives, and you'd have kind of the reveal, and then you'd go back and forth again. And so that she did follow the same plot structure, and which was fine. She did also kind of mix it up a little, and the twist was still twisty and exciting and good. So yeah, again, it didn't blow my mind, but I was very much so enjoying the ride, if that makes sense. So the only kind of issues with The Housemaid's Secret, so the second one, was I feel like she ended it on such a good moment in the first, and we didn't just pick right up. I mean, it's a while, and then you get like 20% in the book, I think you start figuring out, like, she starts talking about what happened in the past, which is what I think, at least me as a reader, kind of wish I would have like enjoyed and read about, but we just had to kind of hear about it in memories. Enzo was a really big character in the first book, and I kind of was disappointed that he wasn't really in the second. I mean, I gotta be careful what I say, but yeah, he's in the second book, and it's just kind of like, I mean, you built me all up in the first, and then the second, we're kind of, yeah. So, I mean, it's kind of dramatic. I feel like in the second book, about 20% in, I was like almost DNF'd it because it just wasn't what I was expecting after recently reading the first. But I stuck with it, and I'm glad I did because it's still a 4-star book for me. Both of them are 4 stars. There's a couple piddly things I guess I could say about the second. There was like one scene where Enzo lost his accent, and I was just kind of like, like, you know, when you read people who have accents in books and you hear it, and then you read, and it's like, I was reading and I was like, he's starting to say words that his accent didn't allow him to say. So it was literally just like a scene, and then it switched back and it was fine. So that was weird. And then Millie, I feel like the readers have pictured what they wanted of Millie, and the character itself struggled with being who the character was or should be. And so the little flip-flopping between Millie's like internal dialogue was annoying. It was like, okay, either you're a badass or not, just be one, because that's what the readers are here for. So yeah, that kind of annoyed me. After making that note though, and then reflecting on it, I was like, well, maybe that's what the author was trying to do, is the flip-flopping, and that was part of twists. Again, being careful what I say, but yeah, it maybe that there was a point to it. I don't know. It kind of annoyed me. But those 2 points do not take away from the story at all. It's still just as twisty and winding. I believe I always like to know, like, do you have to read the first book before you read the second? And I don't think you have to read the first. I think you could get away with just reading the second book, and it could be its own standalone. And maybe that's why we didn't pick up right after the first. We started kind of like a new storyline, and then we had memories back to the first. Maybe. But maybe I wouldn't read the first if I read the second, because she kind of talks about what happened in the first and the second. I don't know. All I know is they were great. They fit into my plain read category. I boldly said after reading the first book that this wouldn't stick with me, and here I am like a month later reading the second. And I guess the only question I'm really left with is, Frida, is there going to be a third? I'd read it. I would definitely read the third book of this if the author wrote it. So that probably says a lot. Pick up these books, read them. I'd recommend. I think they're fine. And if you have Kindle Unlimited, definitely, because it's free and you can take your time with enjoying them. Yeah. I doubt you will take your time, though, because they're those kind of books. So, what about you guys? Have you read The Housemaid or The Housemaid Secrets? Let me know in the comments below. And of course, like, comment, and subscribe if you somehow got it this far in the video. I'd love to discuss and talk with you more. And I will see you next Friday. Bye, guys.